Hello, English readers, and welcome to this new live read along. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So today we are reading two chapters. So for now, we're going to read chapter 9, and then I will start another live reading at 6 o'clock to finish to do the chapter 10. So it's going to be a busy. Oh, wow, Kitty, you're super on time today. Welcome. How are you? I'm glad you were able to make it tonight. That's nice, especially a Friday night, a Friday evening. I have to admit, I feel a bit, my energy is not my energy. Oh, I'm glad that you're fine. But personally, my energy is not at its top, at its highest. Um, I don't know. I feel like I think it's probably the end of the week fatigue that has piled up, and on my way home, I was feeling quite sleepy, and I could stop yawning, and so it's gonna be. I will have to to stay awake today and not fall asleep while I'm reading. No, I won't. Don't worry, I won't at all. I've got my. It's not tea. It's infusion. Yeah. Yeah, otherwise it's too much teen. So, how was your day, Kitty? I'm glad that you are able to make it today. And I look forward to meet tomorrow as well for our virtual live meetup. So for those of you who are just landing on this, I can understand you, yeah. So for those of you who are just landing on this video, whether you are on Instagram, but I don't know if really people rewatch live stuff or my live readings on Instagram, but there definitely, I see that some people are watching it on YouTube. So whether you're on Instagram or on YouTube, so we are currently reading. So this is Lydia's book club, and I have created this book club for you to be able to practice your English and also and practice your English while reading books. So I find that it's an amazing way to engage conversations and improve your English, and also be part of a part of a community of book lovers and English lovers as well, English learners. So whether you are a intermediate or advanced learner of English, you definitely welcome to this place, to this community, online community. And if you live near Bordeaux, because this is where I live, I also host this book club in person in a nice place near Bordeaux. So if you live around here, then please join the book club as well in person. But the great thing is that if you're not able to do the travel, then or to drive to the place, then you can always catch up, do the virtual meetups. that we do once a week on Saturday morning and at 9 a.m. CET, Central European Time, or Paris time if you prefer. So it's a good start of the day and a good start of the weekend. Thank you so much. So here I'm live as well on Instagram, and I have my member Katie, sorry, who is live with me, and she's saying that your live reading is very helpful and motivating. So I'm so glad. Did you get my email, by the way? I finally got the time. Yeah, I finally got the time to send you the email about a little testimonial for you to write for me, so that I will be, so this way you will be able to see what people think about the book club, and more specifically Kitty, because she's really a member and not just attending the live readings. So yes, take your time. Whenever you've got time. I sent it on I think at around, it was at noon or during lunchtime, I think it was that time. So my day was nice, not so stressful. That's nice. Oh, I'm glad that, yeah, Friday is usually a day that you take very, most of the time. Today, yes, I did it today. I sent the email today. Yeah, Friday is usually a day that you take very peacefully, I would say, or kind of in a chill way. It's the end of the week, everyone is tired. I'm a teacher and I teach in the middle school, and today was actually, hello Anika. Hello, welcome. I can see it. Thank you. Yay. So I was actually saying, yes, that I teach in a middle school, and today was the last day of school before they went on holiday. So at the moment in France, the kids are on holiday. So tonight, so they were so, oh my God, they were so excited, and especially this afternoon. This morning was okay, still very focused, and still ready to do some work and all that. You could still do some work this morning, but this afternoon, oh my God, I had 2 hours of teaching, and it was tough. It was it was a tough day. It was a tough afternoon. At some point, you're just like, but you don't give up. I mean, they don't do whatever they want, but you're just like, oh my God, please make this bell go quickly. I need, we all need to go now. They need to to be outside and get home, because they were so excited. Children love to have holidays. Oh yeah, it reminds me of our chapter yesterday, where in which we read, so that was chapter 8, in which we had Meg and Jo, the two eldest sisters, who had some holidays because Jo's family, no, Meg's family was away, and I don't know, and oh yeah, and Jo's aunt, me as well. Hi Anika, welcome to this live reading. Love to have, and you too. Yeah, definitely. I do. I was very excited as well to have the holidays, but the thing is, they the difference between the children and you as an adult is that you can control yourself, or you can control sort of your excitement, but the kids, I mean, they just go everywhere. And especially in the equivalent of year 7. So the kids are in the little ones. So year 7 or grade 7 in America. In America, they say, I think it's quite the equivalent. And so they are 11, 12. And I had this group of students who it was a small class, because those kids are have special needs. So there is a special class for those type of kids who need to be in a small class and need more support. And as you can imagine, those kids have difficulties for learning and all that, and behavioral and sort of not sort of trouble, or they can't stay too long focused and all that. So it was a very specific class as well of year 7, and they couldn't handle themselves. And we just, at the end, you could just do a little game or something, because they get to, at the start of the lesson was okay, you could kind of get something out of them, but then, oh my God, this is it was over. It was over. My son is also freaking out when he's off school. Freaking out, I'm not sure if it's what you want to say, Kitty, because freaking out is when you are actually scared. Is freaking out. Maybe you want to say he is crazy, is going mad, or is is going crazy. Yeah, crazy. I think you did a typo here, mistake with a Z, crazy. Just for you. But yeah, so yeah, it's going crazy. Yes, they definitely, I think, because it demands so much. Like is going crazy. Yeah, crazy with a Z. Yeah, excited. Yeah, or getting excited. Yeah. And it's and I think, yeah, this is what I wanted to say. I think because it demands so much control of them, behaving. Oh my God, I've got a hair. It's weird. So I think it's because it demands so much energy and control of themselves to stay still, in the classroom, and listen to a teacher and do the exercise and think, and being distracted by the other, by their classmate next, by their partner or whatever, that when they know that they're not going back to school, or when they know that or also when it's the weekend sometimes, but even more when it's on the holiday, definitely, I think they just explode. I think this is all this because they know that they have like 5 weeks of school, but then when it's holiday, it's like the massive treat, or this is the big, it's a big thing. Of course, they know for 2 weeks they're going to be able to sleep, like to sleep over and wake up at whatever time they want. Not for everyone. I think that some parents can be strict, or but it's much more chilled and relaxed. So yeah, of course they yeah, it's this is how it is. So yeah, and even when you're teaching older kids, it's the same sort of, yeah. So it's kind of a tricky thing, the teaching the Friday afternoon. It's always very tricky. So you need a lot of patience and self-control, and also kind of um, just being kind to yourself, and just when you know that it's the holiday, it's Friday afternoon and it's the holiday, you're like, okay. Annika, let me know, are you a teacher or are you studying English? Let me know what is it that you're doing, or if you are, yeah, a student or working, what do you do if you're working? That would be so very interesting to get to know you. I think it's the first time that you've joined this live reading. So I'm happy that you were able to join. So while I let Annika, I hope I pronounced well, uh, answer and give her answer or respond to us, I'm going to do a little recap of Little Women before getting started with chapter 9. So we are reading at the moment Little Women, this amazing classic of American literature, and written by Louisa May Alcott. So in this book club, I love to read all female authors in particular. I make sure I pick, or I make sure also I listen to that I choose with my members the books that we will be reading each month. It's a different book. And this month, February, it was Little Women, or it is still Little Women until next week. So, Annika, I make annual statements. So very boring for the most people. But what is annual statements? That's my question. What is it? Is it about finance? Is it something related with finance or analysis? Things like, and yes, this is my first time on your live. Yay! I'm so glad that you were able to join today. Yes, finance. Okay, so we kind of see more or less the field you're in. So nothing related to English literature then. So do you like reading, Annika, or is it more to find a way to practice your English, or you like both? You actually love reading and reading in your own language, or maybe have you read in English before? For the tax department. Oh, and such. Oh, I forgot to ask you, where you from? Where do you live? So, or where are you based? It would be nice to see, nice to know. So we've got Katie, who is based in Germany. I love reading. I have read 16 books this year. Oh, wow. Already 16. Oh my gosh. In English? Did you read these 16 books in English already? I mean, 16 books, I mean. Wow, that's impressive. And it's only February. I am Dutch, and I read mostly Dutch and English. Nice. Wow. I know Kitty saying this year. You felt so shocked. Oh my gosh. I mean, sometimes there are people who are very passionate about reading and can read a lot. I'm not a fast reader. Oh, but don't be ashamed. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. Oh, wow. We don't read that we don't read that much. I mean, we do one book a month. So, and they're small, very, very short books, because those are called graded readers. They are adaptations of classics or contemporary novels. And so you're going to find these books very, very very short. So it's amazing to be able to read that much. I'm not a fast reader. I like to take my time exploring the book. I'm impressed. I am too. um I like to take the time to explore the book, or it's just that sometimes my mind is also thinking of something else at the same time, and I'm gonna get an idea, and oh my God, I need to put this down. Or sometimes I'm doing I'm thinking about something else, and I want to research because there is an information in the book that I'm interested in or whatever. So yeah, it just depends on people. But I think, I mean, we shouldn't feel bad or about the fact that we read a lot or the fact that we don't read that much. Everyone has their own pace. So it's fine. And I feel very honored that you joined this book club, because that you joined this live reading. I mean, because um we don't read that as much. I mean, in this book is, an adaptation, so it's not an original book. So I hope that you will feel fulfilled. I mean, what I would say, what we have here is that we discuss quite a lot, or we take the time to reflect on the books and on the story and the characters. So that's something that maybe you will enjoy, and I hope so. So now, if I go back to the story and do the quick recap, do you know this novel, Little Women, or have you read it before, Annika? Or is it a story that you've heard? Because a lot of films have adapted, or there has been a lot of films and TV series adaptations of this novel. So maybe you probably have heard of this film. Yes, I've read it before. Oh, you read it. Oh, okay, that is even better. Okay, so it's going to be a reread. It's always good to reread stories. And also you will see how adaptations are um, are structuring or telling the story differently, or what parts they keep and others they don't. So it's going to be an interesting thing for you to experience as well. So have you yeah, and it's probably no, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. So I'm going to do a quick recap. So I mean, for you, Annika, you already know the story, so it's not going to be new. But for you, if you're just landing on this video, so Little Women is the story of four sisters, the March sisters, and they are reflecting on their behavior. It's Christmas. The story starts at Christmas and at Christmas time, and the four sisters are kind of reflecting on their behavior, and they want to be good to their mother and be good also when their dad is coming back, will be coming back from war, because their dad is at war. At the context, the background context of this story is that is happening during the American Civil War, and the dad is at war. So the two eldest, Meg and Joe, are working to bring money in the house and help out their mother. The two youngest sisters are working, doing the chores in the house. They're mainly helping out in the house. And they love doing plays and being creative. They like to entertain people. So you see those kids here are little girls from the village or from the neighborhood. And they are here watching the girls, the March sisters, playing, acting this play that Joe is the one, she's the second daughter, second sister, and she loves creating plays and writing stories. And she created this play, and they're with her sisters, they're acting the different characters. And they have this boy, where is the picture? Here, Laurie, here, who is Mr. Lawrence's grandson. So Mr. Lawrence is the March's family neighbor. So Mr. Lawrence lives next door, and he's a rich man, and he is looking after his grandson because Laurie's parents have died, and he's taking is taking care of his grandson. And here you've got Joe, who is more or less the same age. So I think she's 16, and Laurie is 16 or something. They're very close. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And so they're the same age, and they're getting along very well. So they spend a lot of time. So Laurie loves spending time with the March sisters, and they like to have fun together. And we have this chapter in which it tells about Amy, the youngest, who likes to spend time with her eldest sisters. But this time, Joe, Meg, and Laurie wanted to go to the theater, had planned to go to the theater, but Amy wanted to go with them, but Joe said no, and she got really crossed about it, and she said that she will regret it, and she did something really mean, and she knew that doing that would hurt her. So what she did is that she burned Joe's notebook, in which she wrote all her plays and all her writing stuff, all her writing ideas, sorry. And she knew that burning this book would really hurt her. So when Joe learned about it, she could not forgive her, and she was really mad at her. So what happens in this scene is that Joe went ice skating with Laurie, and Amy joined them because she liked spending time with them. But so she is trying to catch up because they're already far, and she's catching up. And but the thing is that in the middle of this lake, this icy lake, it was a little bit dangerous because the water wasn't that strong. The ice wasn't that strong and very solid. So at some point she just fell through the cold ice, and Joe was so shocked, and she kind of froze. And it's Laurie who saved Amy. And then at the end of this chapter, it feels a little bit like the situation reversed, and it's Joe that felt really bad for not forgiving her little sister, for burning her book. And in the end, they kind of make up, and they sort of end their feud and their disagreement. So they kind of make peace, facing this in front of this very this sad incident. Nothing happened to Amy. She got home, and she was looked after by her mother. So she was all safe and sound, as they say, as we say. And but Amy felt bad anyway. So that was a very interesting chapter here, discussing in which we discussed about the the idea of forgiveness and revenge as well, and the fact that Amy really felt bad about what she did, and yeah, and really regretted. So that was chapter 6, and here chapter 7 is an also very serious topic as well, with Meg. That's Meg here, the eldest sisters. So those books, I don't know if you read in English, Anika. I think you probably started reading in English with these kind of books, these adaptations of original books. They are called graded readers. Maybe you know already, I don't know. But I like them very much, especially if you're just starting reading in English, and they have little illustrations. And if you're starting in English and you're an adult, because they do a lot of books for kids, and it's with drawings and stuff like that, which is very nice. But when you are an adult and you want to read those classics of English literature, or you want to read stories that are adapted, but without it to be baby-ish, So it's a nice in between, in which you've got text, but also a little bit of drawing. So it's always nice, even as an adult. We all love drawings sometimes in books, sometimes, or pictures. It's always nice. So this is a nice way to get into the story as well. And I think that makes it easier as well to understand the story. So this passage here is about Meg and her, and she is invited to her friend at her she's invited to her friend's party. What's her name? No, she's I can't remember. Annie Moffat. This is Annie Moffat, her friend, and she is a rich friend. She is organizing a party at her house, and unfortunately, Meg only has one dress, and is not, and it's not a dress that is very fancy, and so her friend is going to lend her this beautiful and fine dress with necklaces, and she's going to arrange her make her hair, and Meg is going to look beautiful. I mean, yeah, she's going to be all dressed up, and she's going to experience a very she's going to have a very negative experience about with this ball. I mean, it's not really a ball, small ball, yeah, small ball, little party in which people are going to start gossiping about her, and about her marriage prospect, and they're going to talk about Laurie, this neighbor, this boy, and people are going to try to match them together, or make her understand that maybe she should marry him, or because Laurie is coming from a rich family, so he's a good prospect. And but Meg is not really interested in Laurie. She says that he's just a friend, but she doesn't really like the comments from people. And also, she's going to notice that some boys who usually wouldn't talk to her on when there was other balls before, and now that she is but at this party she's wearing this amazing dress, and they coming to and they're actually coming to her. So she feels the very much the difference of uh, from people's attitude towards her, wearing when she's wearing more um, a more basic dress, I would say, or more less um, um, less fine, and when she's actually wearing something, when she's all dressed up and um, with beautiful ornaments, I would say, a beautiful dress and jewelry. So she is going to tell all about this party to her mother, and I really liked the mother's response to her questioning, when she says that for her all that matters is that she marries for love. And we actually had this debate with no, it wasn't really a debate, we completely agree on it with with Katie, when we're saying that I don't have any evidence for that, but I'm sure by reading this passage that Louisa May Alcott must have been influenced by Jane Austen's work, because I mean, this thing, like marrying someone for love, and she would rather her to be married to someone poor than someone but happy, than being married to a rich person and being completely miserable. So this is the essence of Jane Austen's work. Not only on that, Jane Austen talks about so many other topics, but that one felt very much like something that she could have read, that she could have been inspired by Jane Austen's work. So I don't know what you feel about this, Annika, but that was our feeling about when we read this passage. And chapter 8, I talked a little bit about it earlier. It's this actually when we were talking about holidays, and actually the March girls are going to experience the holiday feeling of doing nothing, all play and no work, and they're going to realize very quickly that they got bored, and actually they were actually looking forward to do some chores or to have something to do. And the mother, always very wise and always thoughtful, was actually glad to see that her daughters realized themselves that this wasn't a good solution, but actually there should be a good balance between work and play. Finding time for definitely working, but also finding time to have some fun and play as well, to kind of have a good balance in life. So this is really very current to our topic about holidays at the moment. So that was a very very up to date, I would say. Anyway, so let's read chapter 9 now. Secrets. One October afternoon, Joe caught a bus into the town and stopped outside a building in one of the busy streets. She went in, looked up the stairs, and after a minute ran out again. She did this several times, to the great amusement of a young man who was watching from the opposite side of the road. But the fourth time, Jo gave herself a shake and walked up the stairs. The young man crossed the road and waited. It was Laurie. 10 minutes later, Jo came running out, but did not look pleased to see him. "What are you doing here?" she said. "I'm waiting to walk home with you," he said. I have a secret to tell you, but first you must tell me yours." You won't say anything at home, will you?" said Jo. "Not a word," promised Laurie. "I've left 2 of my stories with a newspaper man," said Jo. "But I have to wait until next week before I know if they will be printed." Ooh, that's nice. Miss March, Miss March, the famous American writer, said Laurie, throwing his hat into the air. Oh, and catching it. He's throwing it. Jo looked pleased. "Now, what's your secret?" "You remember Meg lost a glove at the picnic," said Laurie. "Well, I know where it is." "Is that all?" said Jo, looking disappointed. "Wait until I tell you where it is," he said. "Tell me then," said Jo. Laurie whispered 3 words in Jo's ear. She stared at him, looking both surprised and displeased. "How do you know?" Okay, so we don't know the secret. "How do you know?" "I saw it." "Where?" asked Jo. "Pocket." "What's wrong? Don't you like it?" "Of course not. It's stupid. What would Meg say if she knew?" You mustn't tell anyone," said Laurie. I didn't promise, Joe reminded him. I thought you would be pleased, he said. Pleased at the idea of someone coming to take Meg away? Oh, said Joe. No, thank you. She ran off down the hill, but Laurie came after her and reached the bottom first. She came up behind him, her face red and her hair blowing in the wind. That was fun, she said, forgetting her crossness in the enjoyment of a good run. At that moment, someone passed by, then stopped and looked back. It was Meg. What are you doing here? She said when she saw Joe. You've been running, haven't you? Joe, when will you start to behave like a young lady? Again. You remember last time it was don't talk to this boy, Laurie. At first, she didn't want her to talk to him. And now it's about running. It's not ladylike. Don't make me Don't make me grow up yet, Meg, said Joe, looking sad. It's hard enough having you change so suddenly. Meg was growing into a woman, and Laurie's secret made Joe realize that Meg would leave home one day. Perhaps soon. 2 Saturdays after Joe had gone secretly in town, Meg saw Laurie chasing Joe all over the garden before the two of them fell on the grass, laughing and waving a newspaper. Ooh, so here is the beautiful picture of Laurie and Joe running around in the garden here, and you can see the house in the background here. And here you can see the newspaper, so you can guess then what's coming next. What can we do with that girl? Said Meg. She never will behave like a young lady. Minutes later, Jo came in with a newspaper. She sat down and began to read it. Are you reading anything interesting? Asked Meg. Only a story, said Jo. Read it aloud, said Amy. It may amuse us. Jo began to read very fast, and the girls listened. It was a love story about two people called Viola and Angelo, and most of the characters died in the end. But the girls enjoyed it, and Meg even cried a little at the sad parts. Who wrote it? Asked Beth, watching Jo's face. Jo put down the newspaper. I did, she said, her eyes bright and shining. You? Said Meg, surprised. It's very good, said Amy. I knew it, said Beth. She ran across and put her arms around her sister. Oh, Jo, I'm so proud. And how proud Mrs. March was when she was told. Everyone began to speak at the same time. Tell us all about it. How much did you get for it? What will father say? Won't Laurie laugh? So Jo told them all about it, and that evening there was no happier or prouder family than the Marches. And I think this is the end. Yeah, I could feel the end of this chapter. Chapter 9 was pretty quick, was pretty short. And then that's chapter 10. We're going to read that just after we finish talking a little bit about chapter 9. So tell me, what did you think about this chapter? It's a very joyful chapter, definitely, compared to some others, especially, I mean, All Play No Work was okay, was not that serious, but 6 and 7 were kind of tough topics. This one definitely is about little secrets, and but one is very definitely fulfilling for Joe as a writer, and it kind of is a big achievement for her, and for Joe and for Meg is somehow a sort of an achievement as well, because it feels like she is seeing someone, if I'm right. So tell me, what did you think about this? What do you think about this chapter, and what can you say also about the and you can clearly see how different the two sisters are, how Meg is very is really described as the typical women of the time, very well behaved, and she is doing very much what is expected, what men, because it's patriarchal society, of course, so what is expected by men, but also by women, because it's a code of social conduct that is dictated by women as well, the high society. And she really fits in these expectations of women and the place that women have to hold and keep and keep and the same kind of recurring behavior that they have to have, recurring, yeah, or kind of maintaining this what is expected from them as a woman. Huge success for Joe to write in a magazine. Yeah, absolutely. It's huge. I mean, she's like 16, we said? No, 15. She's 15 years old. I mean, this is where you feel like this is really, it's really in the 18th century, because it feels like at the time they were very precocious in not precocious, they were very early in or advanced, I would say, in their in life, and something that a girl would do at 16 is something that someone will do probably at 20, or I mean, or maybe not, I don't know, it's maybe my own perception, my biased perception, I don't know, my own view, but I mean, it feels it's huge. I mean, the fact that this newspaper published her text is really massive. It doesn't, but it doesn't say if she's got paid for it. I hope she did. I wonder if maybe in the original book they give definitely more details, and I hope that they give more information about whether if she got paid for what she did for the publishing. Hey, hi Ada. Hello Ada, how are you? Welcome back. I'm so glad you were able to join today. Annika, I think it would be hard to live in that time as a woman. Yeah, all that hidden gestures and meaning. Yes, it's a whole code of conduct of women, and especially women of a certain rank in society. Those, I mean, the March family is not as rich as the Moffat, like Annie Moffat, but they are kind of sort of in like a middle class, I would say, in society and in the American society, and because they have to work to be able to make a living, whereas Annie Moffat, for example, I don't think she's working. So that's the difference. But the thing is that those girls are educated. They're still educated, and they went to school, and they are able to teach also, because Meg is teaching. She's sort of a tutor of 4 little kids for this family, and so they are they're not part of the rich society, but they kind of are around those educated people, and they are surrounded by rich people. So in a sense, they are sort of in between, and I guess they're um, I think Meg would aspire to have, and actually we read it, they all aspire, all the girls aspire to be richer, to have a better kind of living. Yeah, I mean, it's not really expressed. I mean, the other girls are younger, so it doesn't say, but we clearly see with Meg's behavior changing that she really aspired to belong to that very rich, with this rich and rich society. Yeah. Um, where was I? I didn't read. Yes, I did. I missed your reading a lot, but I can be here about 10 minutes. It's a pity for me. Oh, but it's always 10 minutes. So enjoy those 10 minutes. And if you've got time, you can rewatch the live readings on my Instagram account. I publish them on my feed, so you can still have access to them, or you can watch them on YouTube. It's you've got those two places where you can rewatch the readings, so don't worry at all. And you will catch up. It's fine. They have also a nice house and a maid, Hannah. Yes, they do. So they're not poor, but they're not as rich as the Moffat family. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. It feels like, um, again, reference to Jane Austen. It's this middle class, and it comes back to my head. It's this social class called the genteel class, which is a class in between. They're not part of the highest of the social class, but they're not. They have the rank, but they don't have the money or something like that, and but they're not poor, so they need to to marry someone rich, and because being women as well, it's the inheritance doesn't come back to them for a female. So they are in this kind of in between social rank that is a little bit tricky to handle, I have to say, and to kind of navigate between those people, being around those rich people, but at the same time not being able to live up to this lifestyle because they don't have enough coming in. And yeah, I finished reading oh, you read the book. Amazing. It was a big pleasure to read it and to be with you alive. Yeah, thank you very much. It was very nice to meet you. Oh, it was so lovely. But you know, I'm gonna keep doing this. So don't worry. I'm so glad that you have joined. But please stay along. To next month will be a different book. So the book club is still going on, is still carrying on. I'm still going to continue my live reading next month. It will be a different book, definitely, but feel free to join again, definitely. So yeah, so that was about chapter. Yeah, Ada, it's not just a one-off. I'm doing this since I've started actually in November, but I wasn't doing, the concept was a little bit different. But I've been doing these live readings since January. So it's just what I do. I love reading those stories and reading with graded readers and this concept though. So next month will be a different book, but we're still doing live readings. I'm not going away. Yes, exactly. They can't afford not to get married. Yes. And that's the pressure also. I need to prepare the dinner. No worries. Thank you for to be present. Thank you for being present, Annika, and maybe see you soon. Bye bye. Yeah, this is the tricky situation they are in, is, and it's the pressure they have on themselves on marrying someone that is that needs to be rich, or yeah, or have wealthy, have a good income, is very important in a way. But yeah, I think it's probably in the back. It's definitely in the back of Meg's head, not so much on Jo, because she's a free spirit and she's not very interested in getting married, I think, also. But I think it's definitely something that, and I think that's why at the party Meg got really angry, or she felt she felt very insecure during that party. Yeah, so that was again an interesting a lovely chapter, definitely lovely chapter, and I want to know more about Jo's publishing adventure. So I'm gonna stop the live and I'm going to start again for chapter 10. Okay, so we will do over again with the next video, with the next live. So see you in a minute. Bye bye. Okay, bye.